A climber is stranded alone,
You just cannot survive for long up there.
running out of oxygen.
I just take these deep breaths of this, the thin air, just nothing coming in.
On the highest mountain in the world,
I yelled out, I'm like, I am not gonna die on this mountain.
see how he miraculously survives
And at that moment, I witnessed a miracle.
on today's 700 Club Interactive. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Fidel Castro, he was a communist and he attacked churches, he executed and tortured pastors, and attempted to wipe out Christianity in Cuba, all in the name of trying to bring a utopian society to Cuba.
Well, Fidel Castro stopped a lot of things, but he just couldn't stop the spread of Christianity. The Christian church has not just survived, it's thriving. Evangelist Luis Palau's organization recently sponsored the largest pastor training event in Cuban history and says Cuba is witnessing a miraculous awakening. Over 16,000 new churches have opened in the past 2 decades, and missionary work on the island is at an all-time high. The director of the Luis Palau Bible Institute recently said, "The church in Cuba has grown in the shadows of culture for many years. Many of the churches and church leaders were born in the trenches and underground. They're bold and persistent. They are undoubtedly a living example for others committed to the scriptures and passionate about the Lord." Seminaries in Cuba are racing to keep up with the pastor shortage because the people there will withstand anything to worship the Lord. Take a look.
One of the things that has made us grow in faith has been the limitations and the difficulties.
No tener un asiento cómodo.
People here don't care how comfortable they are. They could be exhausted from working all day and they will sit on a bag of rocks, a stitched up chair, or stand the whole service, and they're okay with that.
Well, this is wonderful news, and part of the good news is that Superbook is in the churches of Cuba and has been for some time, at least 2 years. And this is a genuine revival happening now, and now that hopefully things will become more open in Cuba, let's look forward to a wonderful rebirth of Christianity.
This has been prayed for many, many years. So to be able to actually with our own eyes see it is a miraculous thing.
And we need to train more pastors.
Yes.
Whenever you hear that, that's a good thing to hear. Well, over the last few months of the NFL season, the Dallas Cowboy fans have been putting their faith in rookie quarterback Dak Prescott. A photo that's going viral online shows Dak has his faith in something else. The picture shows Dak surrounded by 6 people, holding hands and deep in prayer, with the caption, "This is the Dak Prescott that the media isn't showing you. So let's make it viral. Hashtag Cowboys, hashtag prayer, hashtag Jesus." Well, Dak is the newest superstar in the NFL and has the league's second best-selling jersey. And he's been open about his faith and is drawn to comparisons to other quarterbacks, such as Seattle's Russell Wilson and former NFL star Tim Tebow. And it looks like the Cowboys are on a roll.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I mean, it's always fun to see a new talent come up and do so well so quickly.
You know, he's probably going to set every rookie record out there.
Yeah.
And if he can take him to the Super Bowl, I think that'll be a first.
That would be awesome. Well, another photo that's going viral is this one. Firemen trying to catch a few winks of sleep in between fighting the Gatlinburg, Tennessee wildfires. The image captures the toll that the fires took on the men who spent several days trying to stop them. It's captioned, "As close as we got to seeing sleep in 36 hours." The wildfires have now been put out, but not before destroying close to 1,700 buildings and causing at least 14 deaths. The firefighters in that photo have since returned home safely. But, you know, it's not just you're up 36 hours, you're up beyond 36 hours, really just extending yourself physically, emotionally, psychologically, in every way.
And in a very traumatic situation. Trying to save lives, trying to save property, and stop the spread. Yeah. And so hats off to them. What a wonderful thing they did, and they gave of themselves, and that's very visible evidence of them doing it. Well, Christmas, it's only 16 days away. I hope your shopping's done. And in London, a Muslim restaurant owner is offering free Christmas meals for the homeless and the elderly. Sheesh Restaurant is opening its doors on Christmas Day so that no one eats alone. The Turkish restaurant is offering a 3-course meal and is spreading the word on their social media pages, where the kind gesture has been received with rave reviews. And that is a wonderful thing.
Boy, it really, really is. Kudos to them. I hope that's an encouragement to other people who maybe aren't celebrating Christmas and have the ability to open their doors in some capacity to make it special for others. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, coming up, nothing can prepare a climber for the death zone on Mount Everest.
They call it the death zone because you just cannot survive for long up there. If you cut your finger, it won't heal. There's just not enough oxygen up there.
Alone, snowblind, and out of oxygen at the top of Mount Everest. See the miracle that helped this man make it back down alive when we come back. Brian Dickinson is a former United States Navy search and rescue swimmer. He's also an elite mountain climber whose goal is to climb the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents. So Brian was ecstatic when he reached the summit of Mount Everest, but his joy was short-lived.
I'm on the top of the world. There's no one coming to get me. I'm alone, I'm blind, and I have to get down. And at one point I yelled out, I'm like, I am not gonna die on this mountain.
Brian Dickinson is a highly skilled and self-sufficient mountain climber. He has summited many of the world's tallest peaks, but in 2011 at the top of Mount Everest, his survival was beyond his ability and control. His wife Joanna recalls his decision to attempt to summit the highest mountain in the world.
When he decided to climb, I knew that, okay, this is what you want to do. I have trust in you that you're going to make the right choices.
I have lots of peaks, 4,000 to 5,000 foot peaks in my backyard, and I'll throw 50 pounds in a pack and I'll climb up in the morning, come back down and be, back here at 8 o'clock for a meeting.
Brian's intense physical training had him ready, but nothing can prepare a climber for the death zone on Everest.
They call it the death zone because you just cannot survive for long up there. If you cut your finger, it won't heal. There's just not enough oxygen up there. You take about 5 seconds between each step and just taking breaths and take another step. And it's just really moving in slow motion.
He began his climb with his friend Dennis and their Sherpas, the local mountain guides. But shortly into their climb, Dennis became ill and stayed behind. Brian and his Sherpa continued the ascent. Issues arose the next day. While taking a water break, Brian slipped and let go of his goggles, exposing his eyes to harmful UV rays at this high elevation.
And I rappel down about 500 feet. And I reach my goggles, I look at them, and they're cracked right through the middle. Now they're freezing between layers, and it was creating this ice. I had about a dime-sized hole in my left eye, and the rest was pretty frozen.
He removed the inner protective layer of his goggles to help him see better. He was unaware of the further damage the UV rays would cause his eyes.
It was frustrating, but I had to keep moving, so I couldn't let the frustration get the best of me. I had to stay focused to just keep moving up the hill.
At 26,000 feet, Brian and his Sherpa, Pasang, rested. At nightfall, they made their summit attempt. But just 1,000 feet short of the top, Pasang became ill, leaving Brian with a tough decision to make.
So, do I continue up? And I had to evaluate that, risk versus reward. I felt really strong, and I was very motivated. But most importantly, can Pasang get down by himself? And he says, yeah. And he put an extra oxygen bottle right there in the snow. And, he went down and I went up and we didn't look back. But what's interesting is during this whole climb, while I was by myself, I always felt this presence, like I was never alone.
Brian climbed through the night. The next day, he made it to the top of Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth.
And just those last steps, I was everything from proud to exhausted. And I'm one of, I guess, only 2 or 3 people that have ever truly soloed the actual summit. It just doesn't happen. And tears just start forming, and being away from my family for so long, knowing that I just had to get down safely and get back to them. I turned to go down, I'm attached to this rope, I take a few steps and everything just goes white. just completely white. And immediately I dropped down and grabbed the rope. I went snowblind. I can't see anything. If I look out, it's just bright white. It's just burning. My eyes are burning. It feels like it's just scratching inside of my eyelids.
Brian slowly started down the mountain.
And the winds were just kicking up, just trying to knock me off my feet. I was very, very tired. I could have easily closed my eyes and became a permanent member of the mountain. It would have been very peaceful.
He pressed on, but things went from bad to worse when one of his crampons, the spikes under his boots, came off and slid down the hill.
And I just start falling head over heels. And the rope shock loads me that I'm attached to. And my arms and legs are sprawled backwards. I'm upside down, my mask is ripped from my face, and my bottle of oxygen's coming out of my pack. And I'm just breathing really hard, my heart rate's going.
His fall stopped near the missing crampon. He affixed it to his boot and got back on the path. He located the oxygen tank that Pasang left for him, but could not get oxygen to flow. Without thinking about the extra weight, he put it in his pack.
I get on the rope and I start rappelling down. And about 20 yards in, my mask just starts sucking in to my face. And I ran out of oxygen. And I rip it from my face and I just take these deep breaths of this, the thin air, just nothing coming in. At that point, I dropped to my knees and I just surrendered. And it was a simple prayer. I just said, God, I can't do this alone. Please help me.
At that moment, on the other side of the world, friends and family were suddenly compelled to pray for Brian.
I felt, God just talking to me saying, you need to pray for Brian to just get up and move. Things are going to be hard and he just has to power through. And that was sort of what I, prayed for.
I just got this feeling that maybe something was wrong. And I kept praying about it for God to bring him home safe.
And at that moment, I witnessed a miracle. It was as if God reached down by the back of my down suit and lifted me up. I just had this unexplained energy. To have that life re-enter my body was just unexplainable. To be able to stand up, feel strong, and just have hope. I've never really had a situation this intense where I couldn't take credit for doing things on my own. And at this point, I needed help. And I gave it to God. I surrendered.
Then Brian tried Pasang's oxygen tank again. This time it worked. He made it down to their camp at 26,000 feet, where Pasang was waiting for him.
My faith got me down, but I was so focused on my family, getting back to them. From the tent at the top till the bottom, I was just in tears. Thinking about what I went through, thinking about my family and the miracle.
With the help of Pasang and Dennis, Brian made it the rest of the way down Everest and home to his family. 1 month later, his sight returned to normal. Brian says he is thankful God was with him every step of the way to the top of the world and back down again.
In my moment of need, he was there. I believe he was there the entire time. He's always there. But that presence I felt, I was never alone. When I needed to be lifted up, he was there. He got me down the mountain.
I'm so thankful that he's here with us and that he made it back safe.
People give up on themselves, but God's not giving up on you. No matter what, God is always there. He'll lead you through the toughest times and help you survive the impossible.
And he's there never more than in the toughest times. The scripture says that God gives us the desires of our heart. I'm not sure that means that he gives us what we want. I think it maybe means he places those desires in our hearts, the things that we are passionate about, that we want to accomplish, the things that we want to be involved in, maybe even challenges that we want to overcome, like Brian had these dreams of climbing in his heart. But along the way, it is our humanity to want to be proud of our efforts, to feel like it's all on us and we can make this happen. And there's nothing like a giant mountain to make you realize you need God in the midst of it all. In this scenario, I thought also as I looked at his story how, you know, often it's not until we're alone, without the trappings of the world, without the support that we have from family and friends, that we really recognize exactly how little we are and how big God is. And we do what Brian did. We just surrender. We say, God, I need you. And maybe today you've had a faith that's walked you through some things in your life, but I wonder if there are some of you who have maybe never said, God, I just am giving the whole thing to you. Why don't you put your Isaac on the altar today, whatever it might be for you, and just say, God, here I am. I am just a little creation of yours. I know you love me. I know who you are. I know what you've done. But today I surrender everything that I am, everything that I have to you. I want your life plan for me. I want your blessing. I want your dreams and visions in my heart. If you've never said yes to God in that way, do it today. You will begin a God adventure like none you've ever experienced before. If you have a need in your life today, something that you just feel you need prayer for, because that was a significant part of Brian's story, family and friends who just pounded heaven on his behalf. We've got someone who'd like to pound heaven on your behalf today, and you can pray with them by calling our toll-free number. Not talking about any exchange of money of any kind. They're just here because they care about you. Our number's toll-free. It's 1-800-700-7000. And the person who answers on the other end is someone who's prayed that prayer of surrender, and they'd love to pray with you today. So call that number now. Gordon?
Well, up next is twice the size of Texas, but has fewer roads than Rhode Island.
Coming to Alaska is like going to a foreign country. It takes 2 days of travel, often, to get out to the villages, and they keep their old language.
We'll explore the challenges missionaries face in Alaska's remote villages and see what's being done to help them right after this. Well, families across the U.S. and even from other countries are answering the call to the mission field in a place you may never think of, Alaska. As Caitlin Burke reports, one ministry is stepping up to support those called to the state known as the last frontier.
Alaska is by far the largest state in the nation, and much of it is land where no one can live.
You're looking at a state that's more than twice the size of Texas, that has fewer roads than the smallest state in the country.
There are nearly 225 remote villages here, accessible only by boat or how we're traveling. Although missionaries and church planners first traveled to Alaska in the late 1800s, few indigenous evangelical churches exist today. As a result, international Christian organizations continue to send missionaries to reach people in these remote areas.
Coming to Alaska is like going to a foreign country. It takes 2 days of travel, often, to get out to the villages. You get there, and they keep their old language. It's like being in another country.
Unfortunately, these missionaries are often unprepared, undersupported, and overwhelmed by the challenges of living in remote Alaska.
They come trained for that position, and what they're not prepared for is the isolation.
Mike and Renata Hazemer work with Arctic Barnabas, a ministry that steps in and cares for those who come to share the gospel.
Our mission in 2 words is strengthen and encourage. We want to strengthen and encourage those pastors and missionaries and ministry families that are out in the remote villages so that they can be effective disciplers and evangelists on the front lines.
They offer vital support and encouragement and have the means to reach these missionaries in even the most remote villages.
Our biggest goal is to simply come alongside them, strengthen them, encourage them, have fellowship with them. But sometimes our foot in the door is a project of helping them with something.
In this village, an indigenous pastor will lead the church, but not until the parsonage receives some much-needed renovations.
This laminate flooring has lifted here, and that's partly because of the high humidity in here.
Faced with the delay, church elders called Arctic Barnabas. A team worked with the elders to identify the repairs needed, addressing mold, poor insulation, and other issues often caused by the extreme weather in the bush.
How do you focus on doing ministry when living conditions are your primary focus? You can't do it.
Ed Denard and his wife Barb moved to Bethel, Alaska 4 years ago to work with the Alaska Bible Seminary. After visiting since 2006, they thought they understood the native culture. But living there is a bigger challenge than expected.
It's hard to, like my board of directors is all Yupik. My board meetings are in Yupik. And then they shift to English when they need information from me, or we're in a dialogue back and forth, but their discussion is in Yupik.
For me, aside from missing my family, it's the inability sometimes to get what I need.
For Ed and Barb, encouragement from Arctic Barnabas, whether it's a card or even a surprise delivery, matters most.
Well, the watermelon story is pretty special because, you know, it was just kind of an aside that we had made a comment to Mike one day that, you know, how much we missed that.
In Bethel, a watermelon can cost $50, a price Ed and Barb couldn't justify. Michael's next visit answered the need.
It just shows that when we're talking and sharing whatever it might be, they are listening.
Arctic Barnabas also sends out a women's magazine, a newsletter, and host retreats for the missionary families. Michael and Renata recently went even further, building a new home with enough space for missionary families to come and stay, whether they're recovering from a medical procedure or just needing to rest and re-energize. Through these divine connections, pastors and their families not only survive, but thrive in Alaska's remote villages. And as they thrive, so does the church. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Kenai, Alaska.
Well, Jesus said to the ends of the earth, and here we are to the ends of the earth. And it's difficult when you start really tackling the problem of every language, every tribe, every nation, every people, and really get serious about doing mission work and fulfilling the Great Commission. Well, get ready for a sacrifice. And hats off to those who have done that have made that sacrifice to leave family, to leave familiar surroundings, and to go to people and say, we're here to bring you the good news.
Mm-hmm. Great story. Well, CBN does missions work all over the world to help people like this little boy who lives in eastern India. He needed food, clothing, and shelter. Take a look.
Pratap lost both of his parents when he was very young.
Mama, my mother died and my father went to the jungle and never came back. I miss my parents very much.
Then a pastor told him about a children's home in a nearby city, sponsored by CBN's Orphans Promise. The pastor gave Pratap a train ticket so he could go there. Pratap didn't know what to expect as he traveled to the children's home, but as soon as he arrived, he was welcomed into his new family. He enrolled in a Christian school where he's learning math and reading. He's also learning that God cares about him.
I love listening to all the stories about Jesus. I love my new parents, the good food, and my new clean clothes. Thank you so much.
The power of belonging. The Bible says God puts the lonely in families. And in Pratap's scenario, if you're a 700 Club member, then you made it possible for us to do all those things in his life. Be sure he's getting an education, that he's fed and clothed. More than that, he's in a family setting with a new mom and dad, and you made that possible. We want to say thank you. Listen, join the 700 Club. You really can change the world because we're all linking arms together, and we want to make the words of Christ, the mandates to all of us in his word, come to fruition in the lives of people in need. It's what opens their hearts to hear the message of his love. Be a part of that. 65 cents a day, $20 a month makes you a 700 Club member. Call this toll-free number, 1-800-700-7000, or log on to 700clubinteractive.com.
And when you call, ask for Pledge Express. That's electronic monthly giving. The bank does all the work. There's no checks to write out, and we're able to send as our gift to you Power for Life. It's monthly teaching CDs, so if you want those, ask for Pledge Express when you call. And there's a special thing for you on this Gospel of John. You'll get not just the CD, you'll get a full DVD as well, so you can watch God's amazing creation as the Gospel of John is read to you. It's all available when you join with us, so call us 1-800-700-7000 and say, yes, I want to be a member. Here's a wonderful word from Chronicles chapter 16. Declare his glory among the nations, his wonders among all people. For Terry, for me, for all of us here, God bless you, and we'll see you again.